Okay, so for one of my first videos, um, after the announcement of the direction of this channel, one of the things I wanted to talk about for a long time is fitness. Now, uh, when I'm talking about this, I'm really only talking about like my personal experience, and the reason I want to talk about it is because I personally lost 45 pounds in 3 months recently. And I can go ahead and I want to talk about how that happened. Before I do, I want to go ahead and say that like whatever I'm saying is not. I don't want to say I'm not a professional or whatever, so I'm not trying to get in trouble for any of this shit. Go get real advice. Um, I'm just gonna talk about how I did it and what worked for me, and more of like how I got back into the habit of doing this. Now, to be fair, growing up, I was um, fairly in shape. I did a lot of played football. I did some track, karate. I did a bunch of different things growing up. Also, I was just outside a lot. So, um, I went to the gym a lot too. Football, track. They let you use the gym whenever. My school actually had a gym class as well. So there's a lot of different things. Parents are uh, military, so beat that discipline into me. They didn't literally beat me, so don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, so overall, like a lot of things I say might seem like there's no way you could do that, and I'm not going to recommend that you do it. I'm just going to tell you how I did it. So, important thing to say too is um, it's very easy to, and I don't want to, some people might have real reasons to why they can't just go and start working out. But I think for the most part, other than like, something medical, a lot of them are really just excuses. Um, I make them myself as well. So one of the things I used to fall on was I have very flat feet. So it hurts to walk. After a certain amount of walking, it hurts. This didn't help that um, a couple times I ripped tissue in both my feet um, playing football. So they swelled up and I just made my feet even worse. I might have to go ahead and get, there's a possibility I had to go and get surgery to go and fix them. I still might, but right now I think I've avoided it as long as I can. But that was a big reason why I didn't work out for a while or made the excuse that I didn't have to. Because again, I'm going to get into this, but the reason I'm going into this is my mentality, right? So growing up, like if I wanted to lose 10 pounds in a week, I could do that. That was something I was able to do, regardless of my flat feet or whatever. But over time, and after I ripped tissue in my feet, I started being like, well, I can lose the weight whenever I want. But then when I got on the treadmill, after I'm done with the treadmill, I couldn't walk. My feet would be in too much pain, and it didn't used to be this way. And part of the reason was the torn muscle in my feet, and just that I had gained a little more weight over time. So it wasn't the same. And the reason this is important is because my mentality was, oh, I've done this before, I can do it again. But then I could always fall back on, well, I can't do it because my feet hurt, but I'll do it I'll figure something out eventually. Um, Eventually, I would start to gain weight over time, and it was very slow. I didn't gain all this weight, I weighed about 170 at the end of my high school year, and then um, across like years of working in different places and living real life, I started to gain that weight, and then COVID happened, and then over the course of COVID, not going anywhere, I went from 170. Not, I mean, I was already around 200 around that time, but by the end of by the first couple years of COVID, I had gained up to 200. I was 242 pounds. Okay, and there will be a video that I'm going to link in the description. Um, that shows what I looked like during this time. Now it is kind of It's a cringe video, but the whole point of the video is just so you can see what I look like. You can get a comparison from then and now. But yeah, so I had gained all that weight over COVID, and I was just like, man, I can't. I was like, okay, I tried to get on the treadmill, I couldn't do it. I tried to do biking, it wasn't really for me. Uh, so I tried going back to the gym, but when I did gym, it's just weights. I'm not doing any cardio. Um, I'm gonna go. So what got me to finally get this done is, and I'm gonna be honest, it was a very shallow reason. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, Jesus Christ, like this is not what I never thought I would get this big. Um, I had to, confront the issue that like I got that big and this is what I looked like now. I didn't like the way I looked and I wanted other people to think I looked good, you know? Um, Now I'm an ugly motherfucker, but that's a different story. I at least wanted to be at least in shape. So, uh, I finally went ahead and said, okay, what can I do? If I can't run, if I can't get on the treadmill, what else can I do? And so I started walking. I started walking a lot. This also helped me personally because during COVID, not being able to do jack shit, I was cooped up in the house, it wasn't good for me. I was bored as fuck. Um, so I just started walking every day. Interestingly enough, like I started at first, like I hated the walks, my feet hurt. But over time, like it became my favorite part of the day. And walking every day turned from, oh, I'm gonna go for a 20-minute walk. Oh, I'm gonna go for a 30-minute walk. I'm gonna go for an hour walk. I go on 2-hour walks every day now, and it's my favorite part of my day. Um, I honestly think that like if there's something you want to try, start walking. It doesn't matter how long. Just go and take a walk. Go around the block, something. Um, do it for like 30 minutes, get back home, and you're chilling. And I guarantee you that at the very least, maybe you won't like your walks, but you'll get in the habit of doing it. Just start doing it. Even if and building habit is something that's very important. So like go outside, even if you don't go on a walk. If you set a time every day, like let's say for whatever reason, 10 a.m. You get up at 10 a.m. You're gonna walk outside. You're gonna put your running shoes on. You're gonna get out there like you're getting ready to go do a 30-minute walk. Um, you know, and then just if if you're saying right now you don't have time or you're just not feeling like it, get yourself in the habit of doing something. So now you're like, okay, at this time, I'm not tired anymore. I know like I'm supposed to be doing this. I go outside for 10 minutes a day. I don't walk anywhere. I'm just outside. I'm sitting down, well, uh, I don't know, your backyard or something, or just looking at something. Fine. And then eventually turn that into like, okay, well, now I'm gonna go walk around the block or walk to the park and back. You walk to the park and back. Do that every day. And eventually you'll start to be like, you'll start to want to do it. And even if you don't want to do it, you're going to do it just because it's a habit. Um, Another thing that's very important that I think you should do before you can do this before exercising and it'll help you in general. Your diet. Changing your diet is probably one of the most important things. I'm a weirdo, so when I did this, I changed my diet like drastically. I was eating fast food every day. When we did cook, it was fried food or something. It was just, and I ate way too much. I also ate in the middle of the night, all day, every day. Bad eating habits. I drank a lot of alcohol. Soon as I did, I cut everything out. Now, I'm not saying you have to cut everything out because most people can't do that. I'm not even trying to like brag or anything. It's just like most people aren't going to be able to change their diet so drastically. And even though I did that, it was still like I was still hungry a lot of the time. So it's going to be hard if you do try. I would even recommend that you don't cut everything out in the beginning just because um, you're more likely to be like, fuck this and fail. So, start with something small, Okay, maybe you eat whatever you want, but only eat 3 times a day, okay? Only eat 3 times a day, eat whatever you want, but don't eat, and then set a time. After 9 p.m., I'm not getting any more food. You can drink water after, if you're Hungry, just go drink some water, okay? Um, but I would say don't eat after 9 and try 3 meals a day. Eat whatever you want and as much as you want. But let's start with that. After that, you can either start cutting down on portions or on the sugar in your diet. So another thing that helped is my favorite drink is water. So like I always just drink water. But if there was soda around, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab some. Um, so I cut soda. I cut all those drinks out of my diet. Just water only. And then I went from eating, like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, fucking whatever fast food was out there, to um, baked chicken. Now, look, I know the white meat is supposed to be like super healthy, and the chicken breast is like whatever. Don't torture yourself, okay? You can eat healthy and enjoy food. I like dark meat. I'm eating dark meat. I'm not eating fucking dry ass chicken breast every day. I can't. I won't, and I'm not. So, uh, I went ahead and did. I liked thighs and legs. Okay, and I would go ahead and do whatever seasoning you want, and I would go put it. I would not. Okay, don't fry it. Okay, bake it. That and to switch it up every once in a while, I would do salmon or just any type of fish. Maybe I would try to avoid like red meat in general, but if I was gonna do red meat, I would do like a very lean piece, like a London broil. Um, but yeah, start doing things like that. Drinking a lot of water 3 times a day. Start cutting down on your portions too. And eat like when I say 3 meals a day, that doesn't mean you only have to eat 3 times a day. Okay, so you do 3 meals a day, and then in between you have snacks. Now, don't eat like cupcakes and shit. Have like some really good snacks or stuff like fruit. So like bananas, oranges. So let's say I think I did something where it was like 2 hour intervals. So let's say I ate breakfast at 9. The next time my lunch like also depends on when I'm hungry. So like I might go longer. Um, so like maybe let's say I ate at 9 in the morning, and then maybe I wouldn't eat till like 4 p.m. just because I had work or something and didn't do that. And then dinner I'd eat at like 8:30. But in between those times, let's say I got hungry in between, my snacks would be like uh, after let's say like 2 hours after breakfast. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. I go grab a banana, or I'll go grab some jerky is another good one. Jerky is kind of expensive though. Um, Buying granola bars or protein bars, those are good. Um, you could buy probably like a box of those, and they're actually pretty. I mean, personally, I felt pretty filling. Um, so do like eat like what am I saying? Eat breakfast, and then in 2 hours, and the next 2 hours, grab a snack, fruit, granola bar, something like that, and that'll help you get you through the time period before you have your next meal. Okay, so pretty much like you're eating 6 times a day, but the other times are just like small snacks, and um, doing that is fine because what you end up doing is you're like, I'm hungry, but you just ate, and then you go grab a whole plate of food and you eat a whole plate of food when you didn't need to eat a whole plate of food. Okay, it cuts out a lot of stuff. Um, what I personally started doing was, so I took I went and ate this food, or when I started my diet, I actually went to I really like these. I can't even remember the brand, but like the chocolate, like the protein chocolate milks. Um, I'm not going to tell you they're delicious because sometimes they weren't. Um, but the things you can buy, and they're pretty expensive. But if you can do them, the first couple weeks, like the first month, I think I ended up losing 15 pounds just because the way I did was okay. I got in the I woke up in the morning, I did my walk, and then I would do my 20-minute workout. I'll link that in the description too. I found a workout that without having to run or anything, just like grab like a kettlebell. I did kettlebell workouts. I'll link a video that I did but I would do 20 minutes a day, or I mean, I would do it once a day and then go on a walk. Um, and then after my workout, I would drink a protein chocolate milk. Um, then I would go either to work or something, whatever. And then later I'd eat a meal and then I'd end. I really don't recommend this, by the way. Um, this is probably not a good thing I did, even though I lost a lot of weight, because two of my meals of the day were the protein milks, and then I had one meal a day, but I had the snacks in between. So I'd have the protein chocolate milk, and then after like 2 hours, I'd eat like a banana, orange, or some jerky or a granola bar, and then after that, I would have a real meal ahead of like my prepped meal, which was like baked chicken and some broccoli, um, or Brussels sprouts, and then um, I would finish it off by at the end of then grab some fruit 2 hours later, and then end my night by drinking another chocolate protein shake. Because they're meal replacements. So if I was just like hungry, I'm like, well, instead of eating dinner, I'll just drink this. Um, and so this really went from, and I went from walking 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours. And I did this once a day and my kettlebell workout once a day. Uh, and that's how I ended up losing 15 pounds that month. The next month, I did the same thing, but my walks started turning. I started at certain points. I started doing two a days. So two a days mean to me. Um, I don't know if I feel like this is normal, but um, I went from going. I went from doing one kettlebell workout a day to two kettlebell workouts. So in the morning, I would do the kettlebell workout, and then um, go on my walk, and then like right before dinner, I would do another kettlebell workout, and then I would eat dinner, uh, and then end my day. Now, when I started doing the 2 a day workouts, it's really important that like you're not like the goal is not to starve yourself. You're going to get in shape. It might take a little longer than you want. It's going to take some time, but you have to eat. So when I started working out twice a day, you're not just I'm not just drinking this chocolate milk. So I switched from to like actually eating. I would have the chocolate milk in the morning, um, or the protein shake, whatever you want to call it, and then I would eat during lunch, and then I would eat food during dinner. So when I started working out twice a day, it changed from the drinks to the food, mostly the food. Um, And then eventually during these kettlebell workouts, you're going to feel more relaxed. I started very lightweight, and you can move once you start feeling easy about it, you can move up in weight. Now, when you're doing these workouts, you're going to get when you start off, you're going to be sore, okay? And so after the first couple after the first couple weeks, um, like of you doing if you decide to do something I did, so like let's say you decide to do two drinks, um, then what you don't want to do is, overwork yourself to where like you're hurting yourself, right? If you hurt yourself, you're gonna have to take a break and you might put yourself in a worse position and then gain all that weight back. So if you're feeling too sore or you're feeling it like pain and like it's okay to feel sore, but if it's like painful, like you're gonna be able to tell a difference where it's like, okay, you can take a break, okay? Just go ahead and take a break. Like this is too much. Don't hurt yourself. If it takes, sometimes it might take a day, sometimes it might take 2 days. It's fine. On those 2 days, just don't do your kettlebell workout or whatever your weight workout, whatever you choose to do, with weights. Just go ahead and take a break and walk only. You can start walk, and you can instead walk twice a day. Um, just don't hurt yourself. Don't overdo it, especially if you start doing two a days, because if you're doing 2 days and you pull something and then you do it again the next day, you're only going to hurt yourself and put yourself in a bad position. But over time, you're going to be able to do more, so you won't feel as sore. And once you start doing 2 days, uh, you might see the progress go up, especially if you're still on that diet. And then uh, eventually, what I started doing is so eventually I stopped doing the kettlebell workouts. And the reason I did this is because I started enjoying my walks so much. My walks on average are probably about, oh, okay. So before I started walking a trail and I would do 2 laps on it. I didn't know how much distance it was, no idea. But I got this Fitbit and I started measuring how many steps after my walks were. Now I was hitting close to 10,000 steps after my walk was done. And so I think translating the distance, I think for me, because it tells you how many miles you do after, it also like correlates how many miles you did with those steps. So every 2,000 steps was a mile. So at 10,000 steps after my walk, I was doing 5 miles. Um, so eventually I stopped doing the kettlebell workouts because the walking was really relaxing. It would be a 2 hour walk. I'd walk uh, five. I'd walk 5 miles, and I started walking twice a day. So by the end of the day, I've walked 10 miles. Um, Not to say that the kettlebell workouts just don't work. It's just why why am I doing kettlebell workouts when I'm probably getting more out of the because if I do a kettlebell workout after I'm done, I'm not gonna want because it's like interval training. You know, you go up to a certain intensity. It depends on how hard you want to work. After that, I'm not really feeling on going. I'll go and walk after those, but I'm not gonna. If I'm doing 2 a days, I'm not gonna want to do another walk after that. So I'm not saying you ever have to get there, but if you enjoy walking, walking is actually what I think is insane. I think walking helps burn so much. If you're on a right diet and all you're doing is walking, I think walking is all you need to do. Because there's a certain point in time where I stopped doing weight training. I only walked, and I made a lot of progress doing only walking and staying on the diet. Now I started wanting to eat like trash again. So I did go back. I did start going to the gym, and uh, so now my day is I wake up super early in the morning. I go to the gym, and then I go for a walk, and then just my diet. Um, Now I like walking, so my gym and my walk will turn into like okay, I go to the gym, I go to the walk, I do whatever I have to do, and then I'm gonna go on a walk again. Uh, so I'd walk twice a day, and then I did weights. Now you can split the weights into every other day. You don't have to do weights every day. Okay, so you're not doing gym every day, walking twice a day. That's too much. Uh, but when I started doing this is when my progress, like again, I was these first 3 months I lost 15 pounds. So I got to let's see, I said I was 242, 15, 30, 45. I hit 197 after 3 months, and then I kind of like I stagnated a little bit because I mean I started eating like bad again because I'm like, well, I'm doing weights, I can do this, eat whatever I want. Um, but so if you want to start to loosen up on your diet restrictions after you've lost the weight, that's fine. But if you want to continue losing weight and that's not where you want to be, uh, I would say, have a cheat day, start adding a cheat day, and then eat healthy the rest of the thing, and then do just keep up. Being consistent is the most important thing. Uh, I think right now it's been, let's see, it's 2023. I started April 2022 when I really started doing it every day. And I'm around 179 right now. So my goal, I'm still working on it, but my goal is to get back to, I want to get to 169, 165. Uh, that way I can just eat whatever I want and just keep up my routine without gaining the weight back. I'll just kind of stagnate, which is what I want once I get to the weight I want. But um, yeah, I think the most important thing I want to tell you guys about losing the weight is, uh, and sorry I'm all over the place. I'm kind of just putting this out. I don't have a lot of time. Uh, but another way that Oh my God, I lost it. So empty head sometimes. Um, oh, most important things. Just like the most important things I will say is building the habit and your diet. Okay. So don't be mad at yourself and don't be mad at the progress. Like the like it's gonna take time. You're not gonna do unless you do something drastic. And again, I don't recommend it because there can be real issues with doing it the way that I did it. But overall, when it comes to building the habits and the consistency, I will say that is the most important thing over everything else. Um, you know, it, working out every day, once a day, whether that's weight training or just going on a walk, is the best thing you can do for yourself. And eventually, as long as your diet is matching your activity, then you're gonna lose fat and gain muscle. You're gonna lose fat in general. Um, so that's what I would say. Focus on your diet and focus uh, on your consistency. Okay. And then after that, you can consider um, if you want to do more. But you don't have to do this extreme stuff. Like, again, a walk a day. Like, what do they say? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck the apple. Go on a walk. Okay. Go on a walk. Just go on a walk. Even if you don't lose weight, like I guarantee you, you're gonna start feeling better. Okay. Your sleeping habits might start to improve. These are all things that like I noticed over time that just why I enjoyed my walk so much. Um, that's really all I have to say. That's my personal thing. Again, if you want to see what I looked like before, um, there's a video I'm going to put in the description below. But uh, that's all. Appreciate you guys for listening. This has been another part-time Rambles episode. I'm keeping myself up to one video a week. See how this goes.